All right, guys, just want to do a quick video on the project that I'm doing right now. I'm making 14 rock panel molds, and on the table right now there's two molds. One is completed. This is a mold that we made. Here's the hard mold and here's the rubber, and we made it off of this rubber, which is 84 by 73. The hard mold's back outside. This is just folded up to where I can store it, but currently we had this on the table, this one, 84 by 73, and I cast it out of it just a little bit less. This one is 60 by 50, and I made it a little smaller where I could fit it in my truck and drive down the road. I got an order to take the California pool project that I'm going to be doing. So anyway, I had this rubber with the hard mold on this table. I put this rubber, brushed it in, made it, and then once this was dry, I made the hard mold over it. And you've seen the video now where I'm taking this hard mold off and taking the rubber off. Once I did that, then I laid the hard mold on this table, put the rubber in it, and then I brush coated another rubber to make a reverse mold. And I'm about to make a hard mold on top of it. So this is two molds right here. Now, in this area right here, I have, I guess, so we've got two molds here. We've got 10 more molds. So there are six. So there's 6 molds right here. I doubled up on 5 of them, and 2 of them I just singularly molded. So there's a flat rubber slate that's rolled up, and then I just molded one of these once. So there are 6 over here that I made 12 molds from, and these right here are the actual molds that I have made. There's 12 right here. These are all doubled up, meaning I molded the mold, then I made a mold of this mold, and they're form-fitting to one another. Obviously, when you look at the two pieces there, it's totally separate rock. You would, if the two panels were sitting along the shop and you walked up with them, you'd never associate them together. You would not be able to discern that they came from one another. They're just totally different. I like to say they're a mirrored image, but when I say that, I'm not wanting you to think they look identical, because they're the exact opposite. So there are 10 here on the table that are doubled. So five molds have been molded. And then this is just a singular rock panel that we only took one copy of, didn't double it. And then this is a flat slate-like rubber. We use these for making steps, benches, fractures in between rocks. So there's no hard mold needed for this one, because all you do is you lay it on the table and you get a nice flat casting. Now you can also, just as this thing's sitting right now, how I could mold this and it would not be flat. I could raise up an end. I could make an L, a corner formation. It's a lot of versatility comes out of this, but this one didn't need a hard mold. So now I'm going to show you the hard molds outside. Now you can see some hard molds there. Those are the original ones that I had for those molds that are over there in the corner. And these are all of the molds that we just made right here. There's 11 of them. And let me see if I can't get this to where it's, there we go. Okay, so this one did not get duplicated. This is just a single one, but you can notice these form fit. Now they're sitting on gravel, so the bottom's not equal, but this is A and B, this is A and B, A and B, A and B. There's 10 that are A and B's to where they're different molds, but these are the hard molds. You put the rubber in, it gives you the formation. So there's 11 right here, 12, I'm sorry. Yeah, 11, because the one flat one does not require a hard mold, because we lay it on the table, the slate one. So there's 12, and then this one on the table now in here is going to be the 13, 14 molds. So that's pretty much it. The only other thing I was going to point out is I wanted to kind of give you a little tip. You can see the 3 different colors here. Brand new right here, real yellow. They're yellow, but they're white. This one and those. These were made back in about 04, 05, and they have never been outside, but yet the light that comes in the shop can discolor these. Light is not sun. It's not something you want on your rubbers. It eats the rubber. It'll degrade the rubber. This one here we had on a job, 2 different jobs for about 30 days each. Even though we were covering it with black plastic when they weren't in use, the sun still got at it. You're seeing the back side of the mold. So that tells me that at some point in the time during this project, we had this upside down to where the sun got at it. Because if you look at those to this one's got a lot more sun exposure. It's more orangey yellow. These are still just dirty with cement. They've never really seen the sun outside, and these are brand new. So you're gonna see sunlight is not your friend on these rubbers. These rubbers should last you 1,000 copies easy. You don't want them out in the sun. If you are using them outside, you're gonna put some black plastic. Only time you're not gonna be covered is when you're actually loading the panel with cement, and then you're putting black plastic over it. In the storage outside, they're black plastic. You do not want the sun eating them up. So, okay, I wanted to add one more value for you, and that is when you're mixing the rubber, you're taking part A out of the container. It's like a dough, a paste, and you're putting it into a vessel to measure it. It's 32 ounces. So we cut down a mixing tub to 32 ounces where we can screed it all flat. That is going to get on your hands. It gets on your arms. You can see right here that this is covered on the arm area. The guys are reaching their hands into the bucket and they're getting all this coat. This has got some wet as well as some rubber that's been mixed, but a lot of it's unmixed. And this is not something you want to have on you. It's got mercury in it, so we want to protect our bodies from absorption, but we also want to protect our clothes. This was used one time, and you can see the residue. When this guy here, he was helping me brush it on. He only mixed a couple of kits on the feet. We put a bucket right between our feet at the bottom, and we hold it with our feet, and we mix it with the paddle. And he's only mixed a couple, where this guy, he mixed all day, and you can see the unmixed and the mess that gets on your shoes and on your legs. So protection is a paramount thing, but these are only used one time, where mine, I don't use the Tyvek because they rip and I don't like that. This has been used about 10 different times. Again, there's a lot of mixed on it where I've touched, some molds, gotten it on my clothes. There's a lot of unmixed on here because I'm touching. This stuff gets all over the place. So if you'll notice on the floor, there is these darker areas here are the unmixed that's gotten cement on it. And you can clean it off. I've used these probably 10 different times. I've got tar paper on my floor in the shop, but even with that, I put down plastic and I make a mess in here and it gets on the plastic. We sweep it off, we fold it up, and we use it again. As long as it doesn't have any rips, I can use it again and again. So about 10 times the use there. If you'll notice the mixing area where you can see this is a lot of unmixed. The guy's sitting in the chair mixing, and this is the messy area. And again, protection. You don't want to have a bunch of crap on there. Now, okay, I wanted to give you one more little tip here. The paddle mixers that we use is really a paint mixer, and it's got fins. This is a brand new one, or a clean one. I've used this about 10 times. And when you get done with a kit, or 2 kits is what we just mixed, so 4 or 5 gallon buckets were mixed. Each time you pull this thing out of the rubber, these fins are filled. And if they're filled and you go to use them, they don't have any ability to mix. So every time we mix a batch, at the end of that batch, we take a paint stick and we try and pull out of the veins the extra rubber. Then we take it into a 5 gallon bucket and we spin it to get the rubber to come off. And even though we try, we've maintained a pretty open fin here in large part. At the end of the day, when you let this thing sit, the next morning you come in, you basically take a razor knife and you cut right down the middle of a fin and you start to peel this rubber off, one piece. It's not going to stick to plastic, it can't. And there's no release agent we put on this. You just peel it off. Now, I did this one the day before because we've had 3 days of rubber mixing here. We had 12 kits, 12 quits of rubber, and we did 3 days, 2 kits each day. So it's 4 or 5 gallon buckets, and 3 of us is about a 12-hour day to measure, to mix, and to apply. That's what it takes. So you are noticing some white on here. The pasty part, which these 2 parts, if you have them spilt and on the floor or on your clothes or whatever, and they're not mixed together, they'll forever stay unmixed. Point being taken here. Let me see if I can't get some of this. I've got it on my finger now. It's wet. It's never going to dry. It'll always be wet. So this here I could wipe down. There's no need. It's ready for reuse. And that's all I wanted to show you there. The other thing is we do take the brushes, 2-inch brushes, and we have them about this long when we purchase them. We snipe them, and this makes them, it'd be too flimsy if it was long. So this gives it a little more rigidity, and we use these and we discard them. For this 12 5-gallon buckets, 6 kits, 2 A and B. So 6 kits, 12 buckets. We probably used 160 of these brushes. We used, I don't know how many. Here's the kits that we used in the last 2 days. There's 4 kits, so there's 8 buckets, part A and part B, and the mixing tubs. And this is where we spin our rubber off. And every time you use it, probably use it about 10 different days, it gets smaller and smaller because you're whipping off the paddle and it's putting it on the side. So after a while, you just throw the whole damn thing away. So we're getting rid of, in the trash, we're going to get rid of this, the 8 buckets and their lids. And then these are the mix tubs that we use twice. We can peel the rubber off. These ones right here, I think we did peel the rubber off. Rubber does not stick to plastic, so you can actually pull that rubber out the next day. And these were used twice. So I'm throwing them away. I'm done with them, and blah, blah, blah. Release agent, that's a 5-gallon can. It took about a gallon to release all these. But I have 2 5-gallon buckets to release at all times. One I'm using, and when I get done with using that, and I go to open my new one, I order another one. So I always have a fresh 5-gallon bucket in case I need it. But these are all being discarded because that's garbage. That's all out of the mix. That's pretty much all I had for you. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, Please subscribe to my channel, like my video, share my video, and look forward to some more. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.